What is good, you guys? It's your boy Randy Anderson here with another episode of the Unofficial Referees, man. And today on this episode, we are talking about Draymond Green. Is Draymond Green overrated? I'll ask both of my co-hosts. Now, let me introduce both my co-hosts. We got Lauren in the building,
Cheerio, cheerio.
pip pip, and we got my boy Corey in the building. What's good? All right, so yeah, like I was gonna ask you guys, is Draymond Green overrated? Yes, no, maybe. And what's your
So
thoughts?
this was so this was brought up. We had Drake. I saw a video online. Was basically not was he has he been exposed?
Okay.
And I guess that can fall in line with overrated. Also, has he been exposed as overrated? Uh, this year, the we saw how the Warriors. Well, we saw how the Warriors have fallen. They've taken a lot of injuries, beginning with what took place in the finals last year with losing KD,
Mm-hmm.
losing Klay Thompson. They had lost KD to free agency, but he still would have been out even if he was with the team. Klay Thompson's been out since. Then Steph Curry's now out with a broken hand. So he'll be gone pretty much the rest of the season because they were pretty much washed anyway. They were getting destroyed. They've lost a lot of their veterans, guys like Iguodala, Sean
Sean Livingston.
Livingston, a lot of guys that made them, what they were over the years. And they were able to mask some of those losses. They had a younger team. They lost Jordan Bell also, guys who were,
Mm-hmm.
developing. He was a good defensive piece as far as that.
Cook,
They've lost a
Saquon.
lot of their
Quentin
core.
Cook.
They got to
Quentin Cook.
redevelop this, and these are a lot of new guys. They also added D'Angelo Russell to the
D-Lo in
mix,
the building.
which it's
Tattletale.
yeah. For the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? We know the situation with Nick Young. Um, and so yeah, they're a much different team. They're a much different
Mm-hmm.
team, and they struggled from the beginning. I saw opening night. I said this from their opening night to the what game was that, man? They were playing the Clippers, and the score actually didn't end up being as bad as what it was. But they, they got destroyed, man. They looked uninspired. Uh, what has been the consensus about Draymond Green and why we're asking this? The consensus is he is a he is a top player. He's been a top player. He's been large success, basically the heart of the team and the glue
Mm-hmm.
to the Warriors' success over the years. You know what I'm saying? And this is even prior to KD coming. He was voted to the All-Star game, and they were known as the Big Three. He fulfilled his role, and what he does is he basically facilitates the offense. He can basically plays like a point forward. Doesn't have best handles in the world, but he does make good decisions, especially in passing the ball, swinging the ball, different things, running the plays. It's also their defensive guy. He's not the best on-ball defensive defender, but he plays out. He's a very chippy player, kind of like Dennis Rodman. Gets in the heads of guys, and he's willing to put his body on the line. With this now, what has happened now that you have their offensive guys, because he plays a role just like most guys play a role within the offense. What has happened now is now those two offensive guys are gone. Those two offensive guys are gone, and that puts the ball more in your hands, puts the spotlight on you. It puts the spotlight on you. Now, Draymond's numbers are they're lower this year. They've dropped. He's
Significantly.
only averaging about just under 9 points a game. I believe about seven, probably about 7.5 rebounds, about 5 assists. But it's kind of consistent to what his numbers have been. Now, my question, like we'll get to it, is he overrated? Is he overrated? I'll say no. I believe Draymond is doing what he's always done. Keep in mind that Golden State Warriors just lost by 48 points last night. 48 points to the Dallas Mavericks.
Luke
142
Nasty.
to 94. And guess who wasn't there?
Who?
Draymond Green.
Steph Curry.
Well, he's been gone. They've been getting there. They've been getting smashed all year. They've had plenty of games where it could have been 40 something, but they didn't reach that. But the first game Draymond is out, they get smashed by 48 points. Now, I'm not going to say that's the sole reason. It could have very easily been that, you know what I'm saying, with them on the floor. From what I believe is, like I said, he's never been an offensive player. He's never been an offensive player. What he's been able to do is take advantage of the space that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry provide him. But he's never really been, he's been limited offensively. Now you have seen and I noticed this last year, but nobody was, really complaining about it, especially after that what I'm saying, the effort that he put not only in the finals, but most notably in the what was that, the Portland series.
Mm-hmm.
But he has regressed on 3-point shooting. His 3-point shooting has went down, but he's never been automatic shooter.
Yeah.
But he's the focus is more on him, and the offense is tightened up. You know what I'm saying? For him to do what he does without those guys spreading the floor. And it was already like that with Steph there because of adding D'Angelo Russell and D'Angelo Russell's style of play. So Draymond has never been, an offensive guy. But he's still consistent rebounding. He still swings the ball, still facilitates. So I don't see, he's still doing the same things. I don't think he's being exposed. I think it's just he's playing with some new guys, and they don't complement. He's the type of player that you have to complement his talents because he's limited. But if you maximize his skill set, what it's always been from the start, I don't know why anybody would think different, but they started overrating him at one point because I think I saw something that had him pretty high in the NBA rankings.
Yeah, that is factual.
Him high in the NBA rankings and stuff. And so what that they're not taking into the account, man, how the other guys complement his talent, man, and I think if you were looking at him from that standpoint and looking at him as, what I'm saying, he's big three in the sense of like what Lou Williams does for, what I'm saying, the Clippers and things like that, like you had him all wrong. He wasn't going to give you more offense and things like that. He does what he does. He's a scrappy player. He plays good team defense. And like I said, he knows how to run. He knows how to run offense also. If you can maximize what he does, you'll get the best from him. But yeah, as far as exposed, I don't know. What do y'all think on this?
I wouldn't say exposed, but I would just more say learning curve, because this is the whole new learning curve for him.
Do you think that that he applies the skill set, that he has the skill set to break that learning curve? Because when at any point as he even, you can see the potential in some guys. Like
right.
We can look at a guy like Ja Morant and say this dude has the potential to be one of the best guys in the league for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Draymond Green is never looked at his dribbling and said, this dude can do everything. We know he, what I'm saying, like you said, he knows how to move the ball.
Can't dribble, though.
He knows how to play defense and things like that,
Yeah, I mean, he can, like, he plays the center a lot, and he's a small center. So he's a point forward center or something like that? Whatever. But yeah, like, he plays an undersized center. I mean, come on. He's playing at a position that he's not really supposed to be in. And I understand the NBA is going that way right now as small centers, and like the big centers are being kind of weeded out. But you see a lot of it. You see a lot of the big centers are able to dribble the ball, shoot threes, and stuff like that. Draymond Green was never really a good shooter, but I think it's all on Steve Kerr, honestly. is all on Steve Kerr because Steve Kerr is supposed to fix the team around his superstars, and technically he once before he got his big contract, he was talked about as a superstar. So
is he overrated? Do you think he's
yeah,
do you think
yeah,
he's
yeah.
being exposed now?
People got him way too high. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a great player. He's a great. Not you said glue player, but I'm gonna say he's a great brick piece. So you're building a team. So he's a great piece to have in your team. You know what I'm saying? You have your star, your superstar, and you have your key players. He will be in a good key player mode. If y'all get where I'm going.
Okay. So you believe he's overrated? Did he
Yeah.
get exposed? Did he get exposed now?
I
They kind of
mean,
go hand in hand, but then there's kind of a separation when they're there. Has he been exposed?
he hasn't been. He has. I won't say he's been exposed because he honestly. I mean, what he had those games where he would put up 30 points because he would shoot. He would get hot from the 3 point line, and then he would have double doubles and triple doubles. So those are rare moments. Those weren't like consistent moments. He'll put
Right.
up 10 and 10. He'll get you. He'll get his assist. He could get his 10 points. But I mean, I don't see him as exposed. He's just a double double type guy.
Double double. He's gonna do what he does.
Yeah.
But he was over. But he was
He
overrated,
was
rated too high.
yeah, he was overrated way too high for people. Well, from my viewpoint, for people that were like, oh, he's so good at this and he's so good at that. His court vision, his IQ. Don't get me wrong, IQ is decent. Or IQ is good. Court vision, I'm not really for sure about his dribbling. But yeah, it's just like all right.
What about you, Lauren? What you think, man?
Uh, over overrated. Yeah, yeah, he's overrated, and I mean, you're naturally going to do that. That's that's naturally going to happen when you win. That's a natural thing to do when you're winning. You know what I'm saying? Is people put you on a pedestal that you possibly don't belong on. So there he's not over. Well, yeah, he's overrated. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I think the most important thing he brought to the Warriors, or two things. I'm gonna say two things. He brought uh, toughness, number one, and number two, he brought, and this may be more important, I guess, but leadership. He brought leadership. He brought the necessity to hold people accountable for what they did on a basketball court.
Yeah.
He was a great communicator. You know, I would say, here's what I'll say about Draymond Green. In Draymond Green's career, because if you followed him back in college in Michigan State, you know what I'm saying, he was a solid player then as well. Solid player. Didn't say superstar, just said solid player. But so I would say he overachieved. That would be the phrase that I would use. Is Draymond Green overachieved? If the Warriors never won a title, you probably wouldn't talk much about Draymond Green. You probably wouldn't talk much about him, because he doesn't have one skill set. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of a Swiss Army knife, a jack of all trades.
Master of
He
none.
doesn't really have he doesn't really have a skill set. Like take Dennis Rodman, you know what I'm saying? The Bulls won 3 titles before Dennis Rodman got there. So one could argue that they didn't need Dennis Rodman, but Dennis Rodman had a specialty. He was gonna get inside the opposing team's head. Number one, number two, or that's number two. Number one, he's gonna crash some damn boards. You know what I'm saying? He's arguably the best rebounder the game has ever seen, considering he was only 6'7", 6'8". You
Yeah.
know, so he had a specialty, and I think that's Draymond's. I'm not gonna say issue because I mean he is who he is. You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking at, what I'm saying, what does he do well? He does everything pretty good, except for maybe shoot. You know what I'm saying? But everything else he does pretty good. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? He
not even
rebounds.
shooting. He's not just scoring in general. Is he? You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's shooting about 41% or so this year.
Yeah, see,
He's shooting
here's
pretty bad. He's shooting bad.
well, that's why I said besides shooting.
I mean,
I
not shooting, but just field goal percentage.
scoring.
Like even
Okay,
he's scoring in
I see what
general.
you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's above average of rebounder. You know what I'm saying? You know, he can get assists. You know, he's just one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Draymond is just one of those guys that you want to have on your team. You know, he's going to come to your defense. You know what I'm saying? And now, if you're like Kevin Durant and you don't want nobody up in your grill holding you accountable for being a superstar that you are, well, that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? But
we don't need you anyway.
Yeah, we ain't
without
need
you
bitch
before that.
Right. So I mean now what was the other? We said it was the overrated, and the other word was what?
Has he been exposed?
Has he been exposed? Wow, that's a loaded question, because you want to say yes. You want to say yes. He's been exposed because he's overrated. But in actuality, he's not really been exposed, because exposure would mean that something that he did well, he's no longer doing at the same level.
Yeah.
And that's just not true. I mean, his stats are relatively consistent. He had one year where he averaged, I think 15 and 10. I mean, but he have, he's probably 11 points, 7, 8 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists. Get some blocks in there, a couple steals. You know what I'm saying? He got a good basketball IQ. He understands how to read the defense. He understands how to read an offense. And so, he's kind of like a coach out on a basketball court. And most players like that aren't superstars.
Yeah.
Because the superstars ain't looking at the game like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not analyzing the game the same way. So, I'm gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? What Dennis Green said. He was who we thought he was, and this is who he is. You know what I'm saying? This is who Draymond is. This is who he will always be. The money that he was going to get in the open market was just based off of market value for a player of his skill set. You know what I'm saying? With his statistics, like, that's market value. You know what I'm saying? Is he worth it? None of those motherfuckers are worth it. They get paid.
You got his money. You got that 100. You got that $100 million.
Yeah. So I'm okay with it. I was actually excited to hope that he might actually grow this year, because he didn't have, some of those other players, but then he got hurt. And I don't know if he's back, but yeah, I was hoping that he would develop his offensive game a little bit, maybe, get a hook shot or, something like that. But, it's just not who he is.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. It's going to drop. You know what I'm saying?
He get one of them. He get one of them. Kevin Willis, the baby hook with the T-Rex arms.
Yeah. It's gonna drop. Your production is definitely going. It's gonna be tougher. You would think. You know what I'm saying? He probably is getting more touches, but he's shooting a really. You know what I'm saying? He's shooting a low percentage, especially for a power forward. Like I said, he's not even, he's scared to and they addressed this within that video also. And it's something I noticed last year within the playoffs. He doesn't have the same confidence when shooting that 3 ball. Something that can at least keep the because at least keep the defense honest.
You know why?
Why?
He didn't have to shoot them. They went from having Steph and Clay to having Steph, Clay, and KD. He didn't have to shoot them.
That's true. That's definitely
He didn't have to shoot them. So, I mean, if he ain't putting them up, you know what I'm saying? Of course he gonna shoot them like Ben Simmons does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Ben Simmons made his first 3 last night.
No, that's his second.
Okay. Nah, that's his first ever in the NBA.
The first game back, he shot a 3.
Nah, that was the that was
That was
preseason?
preseason.
that was preseason.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm stupid, so I mean, hey.
Yeah, shout
Maybe
shout out
maybe this is the
shout out
beginning.
Ben.
Maybe this is the beginning of something, man.
Hey, if it's the beginning of something, the league better watch out.
Hey,
Boy,
man,
he get a
hey,
shot.
that's Ben Simmons with a 3-point shot, man. That's
Oh,
hell, man.
and or 15
But
to
they
20
lost.
footer.
That's
They lost.
that's the
They
type of
lost
thing.
KJ.
That's the type of thing that keeps LeBron. That defenses have to be honest with them. If you notice that they won't just let LeBron shoot it. Like they don't fully. They're not completely scared of it, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna guard it. They're still gonna put a hand out. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they shoot, man. They it's what it opens up the defense, you know what I'm saying, on the opposite side to where, you know what I'm saying, you can get those drives, that LeBron gets. But if you can't do that, all they got to do is clog up the point paint, sag up off you. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing to Mr. Saginaw, Draymond Green for Saginaw. They're like, sag, hell nah, he ain't gonna
Yeah.
Saginaw.
Yeah. So check this out. Draymond Green's career averages 9 points on 43%, almost 44% shooting. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna boost it up to 44 for him. 7 rebounds, 5 assists.
7.
His best season in the NBA, 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 3 and a 2. You know what I'm saying? The 2 extra field goals and a free throw. 9.5 rebounds, so that's 2 more rebounds. 7 assists, so that's 2 more assists. So he's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
He's pretty consistent. You know what I'm saying? He make a couple more buckets. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting right at it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he's been consistent. But like I said, it's his leadership, man. That's the biggest thing is his leadership. That's why he is Draymond Green, and he knows that. And so you heard me, Draymond. We knew you were just okay. We knew you were just gonna be okay. You just want some titles, so they hyped you up.
Warriors are 13-3, currently in the last place in the Western.
What? You mean 3 and 13?
I mean 3. Yeah, 3. Sorry about that.
I say Jesus.
13 and 3. I was like, damn, what I missed?
Yeah, 33 and 13, currently last within the Western
place.
They are definitely in rebuilding. But luckily, Draymond got his money. They're not in rebuilding. They're rebuilding as far as
they just need a tank.
I said that wrong. Rebuilding as far as their role players.
They're retooling. They're retooling.
Yeah, retooling up. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, this will give them some. This will give them a workout. You know what I'm saying? Get the bench guys. You know what I'm saying? Get them acclimated to the league. Yeah. And so once Clay and Steph come back next year, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. I wish they were there this year, but hopefully we don't get any more injuries because we got all these dynamic duos out. Hopefully we don't get no more injuries, and we'll have KD. KD will be back next year also. Hopefully we can get him. He can still play at a high level. I know Achilles is a serious injury, but KD does possess the height to offset that and still play at it, like I said, at a productive level. You know what I'm saying? The dude's 7 feet tall. They list him at 6'9". He's much taller than that. He's actually admitted that himself. The dude is taller than DeMarcus Cousins. So now KD's 7 feet tall. He can offset that in different ways. He won't ever recover his speed back. He lost that the first time he got injured. There's KD has been slowed down. I think a lot of people don't even. Huh?
With the Jones injury.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people don't even notice that. Like KD slowed down over the past few years. Golden State, all of that. Like he slowed down. He wasn't as quick. He wasn't the same player, but he was still able to produce because he's an outstanding shooter. You know what I'm saying? Got outstanding handles. Dude knows how to play the game of basketball, man. Dude's 7 feet tall and to do what he does. So hopefully he returns to what he was. As for Draymond, this is something I just, like I said, man, this is come on, Dre. Because Dre did give us 14 points. I think the 73-9 year. Dre gave us 14
2015.
Yeah. But at least, man, you know what I'm saying? You're getting the ball more. I know they, you know what I'm saying, the offense is closed up, but come on, man, at least give us 14 points, man, something.
Before we close out, I do want to ask you guys a question. Now, I want to get you guys' opinions on this question, so let me go ahead and play this music. Now, is Kyrie Irving this generation's Carmelo Anthony? I'm going to get you guys' thoughts on this.
No.
Because is he a team killer? Because if you look at what Kemba Walker has done with the Boston Celtics versus what he has done with the Boston Celtics. First three quarters, Kemba Walker passes it to everybody, and everybody knows fourth quarter is Kemba time. Everybody knew all
Kyrie
four
did
quarters.
The same thing.
Everybody knew all four quarters was Kyrie.
Kyrie got him a ring, man. That's all I got to say about it. We can elaborate later on, but Kyrie ring, dog.
Nah, here's the thing.
Kyrie hit that game winner. You know what I'm saying? The game 7 of the NBA Finals. So yeah, Kyrie. While there is, you know what I'm saying, that a little something going on there. You know what I'm saying, as far as Kyrie Irving led teams, there's something that's been going on. I ain't gonna put him in. Man. I ain't gonna put him in that category, man.
Here's what GMs need to understand about Kyrie. This is what GMs need to understand about Kyrie. He can't be that guy. Like, he is your perfect Robin. He's your perfect Robin. He's not a Batman. He's not a Superman. He's your perfect Robin.
But he thinks he's that, though.
Nah, I don't. Again, he's believing his own hype. I'm not telling you that he's not uber talented.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You could argue that man has the best handles in the league.
That's factual.
You could have a legitimate argument that he has the best handles in the league, but leadership is about a mentality, and I don't think he has that mentality. That's why I don't think he could ever be that guy on the team.
All right, well, that was it. That's all I wanted to ask. So y'all ready to pull out? Wow, terrible. Y'all ready to end this episode?
That's what she said. That's what she said.
So with all that being,
social media police gonna come get you, man.
See if I make that noise. That's that Eddie Murphy joke back in the day. No, was it Eddie Murphy? Yeah, no. Yeah, it was Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Raw. I know what you're talking about.
Draymond, it looks like the consensus is, man, you are overrated, but you're not exposed, man. We still believe in you. We still believe.
Wow, no.
Uh-oh.
I don't believe. I believe in his leadership. I don't believe in him.
You still believe in the things that allowed the team to be great. You got to have a level on the floor. And then
I got mad respect for Draymond.
You think that he is a key piece that can still help your team get to the championship, because he was a central figure to that championship team. Even though they had a deep team, he was a central figure. Do you still think that he can lead you to that? Not lead. Lead. Yeah, lead.
He could be.
He's the leader. He's the glue that holds it together. You think him, Steph, and Clay get back together, they can compete with these other guys like the Lakers, Clippers, or whatnot?
No.
It's over.
But I don't think it's because of him. I believe that the league is caught up to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, man. With all that being said, this has been another episode of the Unofficial Referees, man. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on BitChute. Shout out to everybody, man. Anchor, all the other platforms that we on, man. Love you guys. We out. Peace.
Hey, do they say that to get you to say a curse word?
What?
BitChute.
I don't know, but it does sound like that.